so we have Tuan here. He's a coach at Pickleball Kingdom, and he's going to give me a private lesson today. I kind of want to work on my backhand because it's really bad.
Sure.
Dinking backhand.
Okay.
Went to do two-hand versus one-hand.
Good.
Also a backhand punch roll volleys.
Okay.
Especially when they do a third shot drop, I tend to pop it up a lot.
Okay.
When I try to like roll it, unless it's
off the bounce or
not off the bounce, just volley.
Out of the air?
Yeah, out of the air.
Okay.
And you see me play, so whatever you think I need to work on.
so the two-handed backhand, how are your drives?
It's poor.
Okay. Do you want to go over that first, and then we'll? Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of go over your two-handed backhand fundamentals first.
Okay.
Just to see where you're at.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see what we need to fix from there. Most of the time, it's only placement and weight distribution, and your rotation of the hips, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like everything else should be fundamentally fine. Because I
feel like with my backhand, I don't really rotate my hips. It's mainly arm.
Do you play golf?
I do play golf.
Yeah. So same thing. So when you're doing your swing, you rotate your hips into the hip.
Right, forehand drive, I think I rotate my hips.
Right.
But backhand is kind of...
So do it the same way. Do it the other way.
Weird.
You know the two-handed backhand fundamentals? Let me just see you like swing some ghost swings real quick before the ball. Go. Good. Go. Good.
I try to focus on putting my paddle down and kind of going.
Yeah, so how I usually like to teach the backhand is kind of like a dance, right? There's four movements to it, right? So the first one is your ready position, right? We're gonna be here, your ready position. Let's see, you're right-handed.
Yep.
Right, so left hand over right? And then this is 0, right? This is position 0. And then 1, you're gonna open up and step back, right? So when you're opening up, you want your weight in your back leg, right? Kind of centered, and your paddle tip down, like you mentioned. And then 2, you're gonna weight transfer forward, right? And number 2, we're looking at our paddle, and our shoulder is squared, pointed down, right? And our feet is kind of aligned, right? From what I saw you did earlier, your feet was too close together. I think you just need to have a wider base.
Right.
So again, at 0, right? 0, 1, we're gonna step forward. 2, we're gonna hit, and then 3, you're gonna stay low and weight transfer forward.
Okay.
With your leg moving forward, right? Again, do it with me. We're at 0, 1, open up. 2, weight transfer forward, and look at our paddle. And then 3, swing over. Good.
Do you have your arms all straight?
For this, yes. Okay. Just because I want to be able to hit as wide as I could, just so I know my range, right? Because you don't want to get jammed up, right? So that's why whenever you're measuring the ball distance from where the ball is to you that's what your first step is, right? Your first step can be out to give yourself distance, or it could be in to give yourself more closure, right? So your first step is 0, 1, I just step forward, and I'm kind of back, right? And then 2, swing through, and stop, look at your paddle, and then 3.
Okay.
Good. 0, yep. 1, good. Lower, you really want to emphasize the weight on your back leg, right?
Oh, I see.
1, 2, swing through, stop, yep, and 3, follow through. Good. Again, 0, 1, 2, 3. Good. Again, 0, 1, 2, 3. Good. On your 2, really emphasize the swing, right? From here, really swing and stop.
Okay.
Good, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna say and go, right? So you're gonna initiate all that movement on and go, right? And go. Boom. Good. All right. And go. Boom. Good. And go. Good. And go. Really stay low. Really drop your shoulders. And low. Good. And go. Good. 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 So is that how you were hitting it before usually? Or did it change for the better?
Definitely the weight distribution. I don't do that much.
Okay, good.
I think I tend to stay back and just use my arm.
Got it.
Instead of actually rotating my entire body.
Yeah, so that's my fault. I never got the before or after.
All good,
but
all
also
good.
one thing to remember that it's your left arm that's doing
swinging.
the power and swinging, and also the direction, right? And then your right arm is going for the ride, But the main things that you want to remember is really rotating your hips in, right? And then really staying low and getting underneath the ball, right?
Yep.
And then for the direction, wherever your shoulder points is usually when it's gonna go, right?
Yep.
So if your shoulder straight, the ball's gonna go straight. If you kind of open up a little bit, it's gonna go right. And then if you kind of aim over there, it's gonna go left.
Right. Worry a lot or focus on like your wrist? Or do you kind of just have it still?
No, my wrists are stationary. If anything, they're like always locked to 90, so that when I'm making a hit, it's always flat.
So you're not like purposely trying to like snap it?
For me, no. Right? Everybody has a different way of hitting.
Right.
It's just whatever's comfortable for you. It's just doing that might mess with your timing.
Right.
You know? But again, everybody has their own timing, their own rhythm that they hit. I know like other people, they're like super back here and then they really flick their wrist at the end. Or sometimes people like just start here really low and then they flick up. So it just really depends on what you want to do.
I see. Okay.
For me, I'm just teaching the simplest way of just really here, stepping forward, making sure you look at your paddle when you make contact, and then following through.
Okay.
Right? A lot of people don't look at their paddle to hit, and they're only looking forward.
That's my problem.
And that's how they miss up their timing.
Yeah.
Right? So they're here, just look down, and then go. Right?
Okay.
Next, we're gonna move on to, you said backhand dinks?
Yes, backhand dinks. You want to see my regular dink and then kind of critique it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I don't dink with a purpose. I just dink just to stay alive.
Okay. Are you focused on your footwork at all?
Probably not.
Okay. So this is what I teach in my dinking class.
Yeah.
It's for all levels because I know some people don't realize about footwork, but there's kind of like 4 footworks that you need to know, right? The first one you need to have is the shuffle, right? Shuffle left, shuffle right. The second one is the lunge forward, right? Lunge 45, back, lunge 45, back.
Yep.
And then the second one is lunge out, and then come back, and then lunge out, and then come back. And then the last one is the shuffle lunge, right? So you shuffle, and then lunge, and then recenter, and then you shuffle, lunge, and then come back, right? Those are the 4 ones that I go through, and then we do like reps of those, right?
Yeah.
But for backhand specifically, you're gonna need to use the shuffle lunge a lot, right? So you need to get behind the ball. You don't want to reach, right? You want to be able to lunge and then dink, right? And then second, when I teach a dink class, you always want to dink in front of you, right? So if you imagine if you have a cone right in front of you, right? And then where it gets smaller here, that's where you want to catch the ball, right? And wherever you want to catch the ball is where your paddle is going to be.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So always, wherever the ball is, try to catch the ball inside your cone.
Okay.
Right? So, and then for forehand, I teach like this, and then for backhand, all they have to do is flip the paddle over, right? So you're flipping your paddle over, and you're catching the ball inside your cone, right? So I'm just gonna feed you a few, and try to catch the ball inside your cone. Good. Sorry.
Okay.
Good. Good. Okay. I would say your left leg, whenever you're dinking, it's like automatically behind. Some of the balls, you can cut it off in front.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, like cut it off in front so that you can be a little bit more consistent
and
intentional, right? Because when you're doing this, it means you're giving up space and you're letting the ball come to you, right? But if they're hitting you like a soft dink and nothing aggressive with it, that's when you can step into it, and then that's when you can redirect it, okay? So this time, all the balls, I want you to try and cut it off, and then dink middle or dink out wide.
Oh, I'm not gonna cut that.
There you go. Good. Good. Good.
Oh.
Don't try to brush up with a one-hander.
Oh, don't brush up. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Right. So when you're dinking, especially with the backhand, instead of trying to see yourself hit one ball, try to see yourself hit multiple balls.
Right.
So you want to have that follow through, right? So make contact and then all the other 3 imaginary balls, boom, 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 right? So all 4 balls, boom, 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 right? One fluid motion, fluid motion.
And you said never brush up with one hand.
Not now.
Okay.
Right? You see the pros do it, they're like soft picking it up, right? We're not them.
Okay.
Right? We want to get the foundations down first, and then you can manipulate your wrist later.
I see. Okay.
Good. Good. So right now you're kind of ending out wide, end out more in front of you, right? Because sometimes you might hit a ball up, and if you end out wide and they speed it up, you get tagged. When you're here, right? I'm right-handed, I'm here, right? Right in front of me, not out here.
I see.
Right?
I see.
So kind of 45, follow the linear path. Follow the linear path.
Okay.
And then also your foot, right? If you're trying to cut off the ball, right? It's from your knee and pushing, right? But what you're doing is you're kind of taking a step back and allowing the ball to come to you. That is fine too, as long as your toes are drawing a linear path.
I see.
Right? Right? Because sometimes your leg was like kind of right here, which brings you out wide.
Right.
But wherever you want to dink, if you are gonna take a step back,
you're gonna follow that
further
line.
back.
I see.
Actually have it 45 and not a 60.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So here you're facing in front, the ball comes to you. Oh, taking a step back, pushing it forward. Right? It's okay to give yourself time. Right? It's okay to give yourself time.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's with the one-handed. Step back. Good. Reset. Good. Go back to ready position. Good. Ready. Good. Ready. Good. Oh, my bad.
I tend to cross a lot too. My feet.
Yeah, so crossing is, you have to cross sometimes, but I would say 80% of the time, try not to cross.
Okay.
Right? The only times you need to cross is when a ball is like really, really far and you need the extra distance, right?
Okay.
Now the reason why we cross is to cover distance, and when we're here, if you can, always try to reset the dink back to middle. Right? Or like, if you're here and then you kind of hit it right in front of you, you're gonna get ernied. Right? So always try to reset in front of you. If you're trying to go cross, that's gonna be a harder shot. I would say the percentage is really low.
Okay.
Just every time you cross, just go back middle.
Okay.
Good. Good. Oh, sorry. That's me. Good. Move your feet, shuffle, good.
Okay.
Good. Once you see the ball, you're shuffling and then you're starting up here, right?
Start down.
I want you to shuffle and then just start right where your knee is.
I see.
Right here, start right where your knee is. Good. There you go. Better. A lot better. Way to prep early. Good. Change it up. Bring it back. Bring it back. Get there. Good. Okay, that's good. Footwork is good. You're getting there early. You're starting low. One last thing. At the very end, when you're slicing, you're doing a little wrist cradle, right? Don't do the wrist cradle. Just have the paddle guide you through, right? Guide you through.
I see.
Just kind of watch me a little bit. Here, right? You know, I'm probably doing the wrist thing too. I mean, I think I might be doing it as well, but it's not as subtle, right? Because what you're doing is like, you're kind of, was it creating a divot? Right here, I'm just pushing it. Yeah, so just imagine pushing all 4 balls. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do game of 3.
All right.
Good. Control it. There you go. Prep earlier. Prep earlier. Good. A little too high. Good, there you go. Good. Use the corner of the paddle to push, yep. There you go. Good. All right. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. Use the corner of your paddle to kind of guide your paddle and push, right? So if you're right here, you're gonna use this corner, right? You're holding like this, and then you're just gonna use this edge to really guide your dink.
I see, okay.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, that's on me. I mean, there's too many little things at once, right? And I'm trying to cram it all. Yeah. Good. Looking good. Don't give me those. Don't give me those. Good. Remember, if you get crossed, don't hit it back to me.
Right, reset middle.
Yep. Good. Every time you make contact, just watch the ball. It's right there in front of you. If you can't see it, that means it's too far behind you, right? So remember our cone, always have your paddle in front of you to dink, right? Same thing with the backhand, always in front.
Got it.
Footwork, right? Shuffle lunge, blah, blah, blah. Number 2, really imagine yourself hitting not just a single ball, multiple balls. I say 4. Boom, 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 right? Say it in your head. When you're drilling right here, just boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever.
Okay.
And then lead with the bottom corner, right?
All right.
The issue with crossing your feet, cross is okay whenever the ball's far, just reset middle.
Reset middle.
Good. Any questions?
No, that's great.
Now we're gonna do two-handed dinks. So with the two-handed dink, right? Footwork is gonna be really, really key. I mentioned that you need to cut off the ball.
Yep.
This is where it's really, really crucial in cutting off the ball, right? Whenever it's coming this way, you want to be able to hit, get your paddle inside your cone, right here, like at least in front of your left knee. And then you're just gonna push the ball, right? You're just gonna push the ball back, right? And then you're just gonna use your legs and then lift up. Here, lift up. I'm seeing people teach like here and then go over. I don't think you should do that. I'm just saying just place your paddle, maybe have it up, or at least 45, and then just use your legs to lift it up, right? If anything, I'm kind of like hitting on the outside of the ball, right?
Yeah, I think I tend to dip it just to create like as much spin as possible, but then it's not consistent.
There's no need because you're focused on spin rather than getting the ball back, and sometimes it might pop up.
Yeah.
Right? I think just working on your focus on getting low and underneath the ball, and then just coming up with it is going to be more beneficial.
And when do you default to two hands versus one hand?
So if I'm getting sent an aggressive ball, I'm going to use one hand just to reduce the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
So I send back like a neutral. But then if they send a neutral, then I send an aggressive. And obviously it's like if you're taking balls out of the air, one hand, right? I mean, you can take a two hand, but it has to be like out here and then like super corner or something, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But most of the time, one hand is kind of defensive, neutral, or if I'm trying to move my opponent around. And then two hand is I'm really trying to like increase the pressure, right? They're not taking balls out of the air. They're letting balls bounce, right? I can feel like I can play with the spin more. So that's why I prefer to use the two hand.
I see.
But just know that like sometimes it might pop up.
Right.
Here we go. Just gonna feed you some two hands. Good. Yeah, so instead of having your right foot forward, right? Have your left foot forward. Yeah, be on the outside of the ball.
Oh, I see.
Yep, there you go.
I see.
There you go.
And are you kind of just doing your shoulders again, or kind of like?
I'm using my legs to lift. So here, I'm lifting to center. lift it. I'm not fully committing all the way because then I'll get stuck if it gets speed up.
Yep.
Here, lifting towards center. Here, lifting towards center. Yep, lifting back to ready position.
Okay. Let's go.
Wrong foot.
Let's go in front of it.
There you go. There you go. Outside foot. Good. Outside foot. Good. Outside. Get there. Yep. Outside.
Oh.
So that one, you kind of focused on your wrist.
Yeah.
Right? Really just get underneath the ball and like lift up. Here. I'm here. I'm pushing. Here. Pushing. But you get the idea, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I'm shuffling, squatting, and hitting. Wrong foot.
Ah, that's right. Ah, so weird. Okay.
Yeah, outside foot.
Even if you're, say the ball's like really up close, do you put your right foot back then?
So if it's like inside your inside foot, I would just do a forehand dink.
All right, okay.
Right? So if it's coming inside here,
Yeah,
forehand.
that's true. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Ah. Yeah, I'm just using my arm, just doing this.
Yeah, I think
I'm kind of swinging.
I think if you saw how I hold my paddle tip, I think it was like up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm here and I'm really using my legs, and then I'm using my wrist at the end. Yeah, so I think you're too horizontal and have it up a little bit more.
Okay. And you're cutting in front of it.
Yeah, and cut the ball off.
I see.
Yeah. Good. Good. Right? So now you're swinging straight. I want more lift. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Nope.
Use your legs. Really use your legs to pick it up. There you go. Use your legs. Up. Yep. Up. Nice. You don't want it too high.
Right.
Because if I'm right here, if I'm taller, I can just reach in and smack it.
Right. That's high.
Yeah, the thing with about there you go. So the thing with about the roll dinks like that is you want to aim for their inside foot. You never want to aim out here.
I see.
Because it'll kick. It'll
And
be
then
out
they
wide.
have ATP.
Yeah, especially someone that can hit like at least at the higher level.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just really be careful about that. It's either their inside foot or really push them back. If they're letting the ball bounce and they're not taking it out of the air, you can really test this part, right? Not necessarily this part of the kitchen, but this part of the kitchen, right? But if they are taking it out of the air, aim for their inside foot roll.
Okay.
Good. And then once in a while, you can bring me out wide. Yeah. Good. Yep. Damn it. But that's good, right? You're keeping me honest, right? Because that's the magic of the roll. You can be kind of neutral here, but still aggressive. And then once in a while, because it looks like the same shot, then you can really pull me out wide. I'm like, oh crap. That was me being lazy. Good. That's good. You see how I'm moving you around?
Yep.
Now move me around. If what I'm doing is any different, and if you see like I'm giving you pressure.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the idea. I can have you inside your foot, you pop one back, I bring you out wide, and then you pop it up for my middle finish. So the number one thing is that if you feel under pressure, either give yourself space or cut the ball off. Right? I wouldn't say cut the ball off by crossing your feet.
Right.
I'd rather have you get in front of the ball and just prep early, wait for the ball to come, and then hit.
Okay.
Or prep early and then push.
Got it. Okay.
Right? But number one thing is, if you definitely feel pressure, start taking more balls out of the air. Because if you let it bounce and you're against a player that has a lot of good spin, both underspin and topspin, the ball's gonna kick or it's gonna die. So in order to negate that, you need to be taking more balls out of the air.
Okay.
Reach in more.
Yep.
How's it feel? Better?
Confusing still? Trying to cut
with
it
what?
off. Because I'm so used to letting it come more and I'm like backing up.
Yeah.
But you're wanting me to cut in front of it?
With the two hand, you're being the aggressor, right?
I see.
So you not necessarily a short hop, but you want to give yourself time. Because I mean, even if I am doing it, I think I am giving myself a little time, but I'm not doing this.
Right.
Right? I'm like just giving myself enough space, really get behind and underneath the ball, and just pushing it back.
Okay.
And for all the aggressive ones, yeah, sometimes I'm like here and I'm hitting it back. At least for the out wide ones.
Roll and punch volleys.
Rolls and punch volleys?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's pick up the
Especially
balls.
like in tournaments, when they do a really good drop and I'm trying to kind of roll it, it just pops up.
What if you just let it
drop?
bounce?
Yeah. I realized I should start doing that. I've been so like fixated on like just try to, if you can, volley it, like hit it out of the air. Go ahead and hit it out of the air.
Yeah. So any ball that's above the net, take it out of the air. If it's below the net, then just let it bounce.
It's like those drops where it looks like I can hit it out of the air, but then it's like a really good drop.
So then at that point, if you are taking it out of the air, don't hit it back to the person in front of you. Hit it more center or kind of out wide. Right? So it's called conceding the volley.
Yep.
Yeah, we're switching from being aggressive because they hit a really good drop.
Yep.
Now we need to go to the next phase of pickleball, which is the dinking phase, the neutral phase. So you just got to recognize, okay, if they hit a good drop, can I take it out of the air? No. Okay, if I let it bounce, and if I'm like, how far are they relative to the kitchen? You know, if they're like kind of halfway through already, just say like, F it, I'm just gonna concede and whatever. But if they're way back there, yeah, keep them back. Net level or like kind of under it, then you roll, right? You don't use your wrist, because that's a flick. Use your shoulder, that's a roll.
Yeah.
Right? There's a difference between a flick and a roll.
Yeah.
Right?
I realize I do more
so we're talking about rolling,
Right.
We're using our shoulder, right? Unless what you're talking about is flicking.
Right. Okay, maybe I don't do rolls. I just flick.
Okay, so we're doing punches, right? So anything that's coming chest level. So if it's coming right to your chest, how are you holding your paddle to hit the ball? Backhand, good.
Backhand.
And if it's over here, forehand, and over here, good.
Two hand.
Right. One thing you want to do is when you're punching volleys, you want to go towards the ball. Don't let it come to you and you'll get caught, right? Whenever the ball's traveling, you want to meet the ball and punch it down, right? Punch it down. And then forehand, 45 degrees, down. Backhand, kind of up here a little bit.
Down.
Down. Good. This is my favorite part.
Driving at me?
Yep.
Ooh.
Good. Right, meet the ball. Good. Right now you're kind of taking it 3 or 4 inches and then pushing.
Yeah.
All you need to do is put your paddle there, maybe 1 or 2, and then punch back.
I see.
Right? Yeah. Just kind of go down. Right? You don't need to wind up. What's it called? Backswing. Yeah. You don't need backswing.
Backswing. Okay.
No backswing. Yeah. Ooh. Forehand.
Yep.
Ah, see? That's a big backswing right there. 45, down. Right? Just put it up, down. Up. Yeah.
I see.
Up.
Okay.
Yeah. Up.
Yeah.
2 hand works. Good. Good. Good.
Ooh.
Good. Watch the ball. Oop. There you go, that one. There you go. Foot fault. Good. Especially on your forehand, all you need to do is 45, not back here.
Yeah, I do like
right?
a.
You're
I just want
starting
to
back
kill
here,
it.
just put it up here, right? So if you're looking ahead, if the ball's coming to you, boom, right? If you know you're gonna go forehand, and it's like kind of close to your chest a little bit, but you want to go forehand, yeah, slide and do whatever. Or it's coming right at you, you're here, you know?
see.
Turn to your back of your hand and then push it down.
I see.
Here, push it down.
I think it's because I feel like if I just turn and just push it, there's not that much power, so I can't kill it.
Well,
So I do like a bigger backswing.
it depends on who you're going against, right? If they have a heavy drive, bro, you want it to get at least in the court, right? It's okay to, because they're having a drive, they want an easier drop, right? Just let them have it. If their drive is weak, yeah, put a little more oomph into it, right? So here, hard drive. Oh, gotta get it over. Woo. Right? And then that was easy for me. Here, hard drive, drop.
Yeah.
Oh, basket's in the way, it wasn't me. Hard drive. That was good. All right, soft drive. Yeah, you see what I mean?
I see.
I'm here, soft drive. Good. But like if the ball's here, hard drive. Harder drive, just get the ball in, but at their feet, right?
Got it.
Like if they're standing here, they're hitting a drive, yeah, aim here. But if they're driving from back here, and they're driving it really hard, you don't want to aim back here, because it might sail. Anything below the net, like a floaty drop, shoulder. Good. There we go. Ah. Oh. Good. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. Move over. There you go. Move over. Yeah, simple.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so today we went over two-handed backhand fundamentals, and then backhand dinks, two-hand backhand dinks, and then rolls and punches, okay? So usually how I like to end my class is, can you name me 3 things that you took away from the class?
3 things. I think for backhand dink, I think just following with your shoulders.
Okay.
I think I just try to just use my arm without really like kind of leaning towards the ball when you dink.
For one-handed?
For one-handed.
Good.
Two-handed, cutting off. I'm not used to that yet, but cutting off and getting in front of the ball. Roll volleys, just using your shoulders instead of more like your wrist.
Good. Okay. What about a two-handed backhand?
I guess like when I do my backhand, I tend to do a lot of like wrists, but I think just keeping it simple, taking it back, and just kind of following through.
And using what?
Your hips.
There you go.
Firing in your hips.
Yep. Really using your hips to really rotate in for the two-handed backhand.
Yeah.
You have any questions?
No, that was great.
Cool. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Long overdue.
Can't wait to get roasted.